right?
Yes.
Solve our problems.
It's cold. I know we want to keep this as short as we can, but I'm probably going to go on a little too long. I'm a little bit wound up today, and I guess I get executive privilege because we are in Weymouth, so thank you guys for extending that to me. I want to thank the other elected officials that are here that have all been introduced, my colleagues as mayors who stood with us throughout this process in solidarity. I thank them. Your presence here, the assistance they've given us to date really warms my heart, so I'm not feeling the cold that we are experiencing today. If you want to look around this beautiful panoramic view, we've got Germantown over here, we got Howe's Neck, we got Quincy Point, we got North Weymouth behind us, facing you guys. Go down Route 3A, we've got other neighborhoods that are affected by what happens here and has been happening here throughout history. And it is frustrating for me that we have a state administration that's chosen to turn their back on these neighborhoods. We knew the process in Washington was rigged. We knew that the federal energy enabling whatever, an acronym we want to come up with, but FERC we know is a complete enabler of the gas industry and has been since its formation in the 1930s. We knew we were underdogs in that fight, but we thought and we hoped we had an ally here at the state level in some of our regulatory agencies in this administration. We're very disappointed that that wasn't the case, as we learned this week. We look at history. I mentioned 1930s, everything that's happened with FERC since the 1930s. Look at this site and some of the history that's at this site. We are in a historic area here. We're very, very rich in history in this particular neighborhood, the second oldest community in the state. Weston's guys landed just down the other side of the cove here. We've got an incredible industrial history in this site. We've got ships that were built that went off to win our nation's wars. We had Procter & Gamble over here. Now, there was a trade-off. We had a lot of negative effects from some of the industry in the basin here in the past. But the trade-off was there were good paying jobs that came with that. There is no trade-off with this particular project that's about to get shoved down our throats here, except an adverse impact to our health.
That's right.
You know, the frustration that we see in this process and the collusion that goes on, and Frax has documented with accessing some of the emails that we've seen and how the industry has written some of the decisions, the flawed process out of DC, but that has continued, unfortunately, at the state level. One of the folks I was texting yesterday, I know she didn't get a shout out yet with all of the people that have received plaudits here today, but Families Against Enbridge, I believe creator,
I'm here.
Andrea Honore.
Hi.
She texted, I don't want to embarrass her now, but she texted me yesterday in referencing a state level entity / bureaucrat. And I, in my frustration, said that that person was in the tank. And she didn't know what I meant.
Regulatory
California,
capture.
they have different phrases, catchphrases out there, or slow sayings. I said, Google it. Anyway, she retorted with a slogan of her own that I have to admit, I didn't know what it meant. And it is true, you learn something every day. And she sent me the message back, and this is a better I guess, expression than what I used about the in the tank comment. She sent me back the phrase regulatory capture. And I didn't know what she meant, so I had to look it up. Does anyone here know what it means?
Yes.
Can I read you the definition?
Do it.
Because this really hits home. Regulatory capture is a form of government failure which occurs when a regulatory agency created to act in the public interest instead advances the commercial or political concerns of special interest groups that dominate the industry or sector it is charged with regulating.
That's right.
When regulatory capture occurs, the interests of firms or political groups are prioritized over the interests of the public, leading to a net loss for society. Government agencies suffering regulatory capture are called captured agencies, i.e. in the tank.
Yeah.
So the fight continues. This is, and we're not going to sugarcoat anything, this is a setback, a significant setback. This is where our hopes lie. With what we've seen in the decisions thus far, I guess I'll just leave it at it's frustrating. And we continue the fight. As Alice mentioned, a considerable amount of if you're from Weymouth, and I know Quincy and Braintree and community groups have joined the fight, but a considerable amount of resources have been spent to protect our health and safety here that could otherwise be used for some more beneficial purposes like educating our children and fixing our roads. So to see that expenditure happen frustrates me greatly. So the town council members that are here, I thank you for joining us in that fight. These appropriations we make to pay our outside counsel and fight this fight have to go through them. They've been part of this. We appreciate it. The citizens group that provide the support, we couldn't be doing it without you. We introduced a lot of people, and I don't want to be redundant on that, but we got guys like Frank Singleton who serve on unpaid town boards that have been in this fight. Our Conservation Commission, of which he serves, our Planning Board has had a hand in this. Various town boards that have been involved in this fight also. We want to thank them. So I've gone on too long. I know there's a lot of other electeds here that want to get their 2 cents in, and I appreciate again their participation in this and support of Weymouth and their communities also. Thank you. Thank you, Alice. All right.